Oh, hello.
Why, hello there.
So Baron, on Baron's corpse, you find quite an ornate longsword. It looks like this. Kind of a wicked blade.
Like a what blade?
A wicked blade, like wicked looking.
Nice.
To appraise it, in your travels, you've come upon different magic weapons, and you'd recognize this as a +1 longsword. But there's something a little bit different about it.
I will see if Dr. Jank wants it. Runs anything to do with it?
No, I'm good.
Did the clerics get identified?
I am not sure.
I will tell you.
Oh, let me look at the rest of his shit that he has.
Definitely don't have her prepared, but we're also kind of going through a long rest, so I prepared the night.
Bard wizard.
Baron of Barrendale turned into a vampire. Fucking bad times, bro. All right, so in addition to the +1 longsword, he's got a set of chainmail, 2 short swords, a set of smith's tools. There's also a pouch of gold coins, 162 gold pieces.
Gold coins, you say?
Gold coins.
Huh. Would anyone need gold coins?
I've got a lot, so you can have it.
162. Baron was a rich man. He was also a dead man.
All right, I'll take the 162 gold coins.
Okay.
If no one's gonna take them.
It's all you, Bubby.
It's a good day to be Donkey Jank.
A good day to jank hard.
Yeah. On the Vampire Lord, you find a set of studded leather armor +2. And he also has a +3 rapier. Well, I guess you wouldn't find his body, but all of his items are in a nice little pile. So studded leather +2, rapier +3. One stamina, 2 strength leather belt. Oh my god!
Spider-Man, do you want the studded leather armor? I believe it classifies as light.
Nah.
No?
It's studded leather, right?
Yeah, studded.
Yeah, forget about it. Oh, you mean for the white? Oh, for the undead. Okay.
Yeah. Look, yeah, for the undead army.
I don't know how much that would be. If it's more than 14, then that's good.
Let me.
I think studded leather is 12 plus dex, and then plus 2 for being in plus 2.
Yay. Or actually, maybe 13 plus dex.
It's fine. Doesn't really make a difference.
I think it is. Okay, so +2 studded leather.
Oh, is it +2?
AC 12 plus dex. Yeah, it's +2 studded leather, so you get +2.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So AC 12 plus dex, and then you get a +2.
How much is the white? I'll look it up. You don't have to
Okay,
stop what you're doing.
that's fine.
X +2 will be 16 then.
Nice.
Okay, we'll put it on one of them.
Excellent.
Man, if only the warlock were here, he would be able to get a lot out of
Yeah.
that.
Yep. That's all right. Hellfire Peninsula waits for no man.
More like blue Shellfire Peninsula.
Yes, exactly.
And what's that sword?
That's the long sword that Agrius picked up.
It's all yours, buddy.
It's a +1 long sword.
Okay.
But there's something a little bit different about it. You guys have come across some rare magic items in your day, and there's just something a little bit different about this sword.
I'll mess around. I'll fiddle with it.
Okay. All right. What do you guys wish to do now?
All right, so we definitely complete the long rest. You can go ahead and and I think Dave was going to take some time to raise up a new undead army.
He certainly could do so. There's no shortage of corpses or skeletons here.
Oh, his computer's updating.
That's okay.
That sucks. Oh, it's almost.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on animating. And I'll also spend an hour seeing what this sword thing does.
Okay. All right. So you spend an hour observing this sword and trying to see what it's all about. And you notice that the blood on the blade over the course of the hour is it doesn't dissipate, but it looks more like it's being absorbed by the blade. And as it takes in this blood, you notice that the edge seems to you that the edge is a lot sharper from absorbing this blood.
Is it a blood drinker?
It is a blood drinker longsword. So it's a +1 to hit, +1 to damage, but you gain a temporary +1 for each creature slain by its edge, up to a maximum of +5 for 1 hour.
So if you slay it with creature with it, you get a +1, a cumulative bonus up to +5.
The standard is it's a regular +1 longsword, but every creature that you slay with it adds another one to that. So if you slay 4 creatures, it would go up to +5.
Attack and damage.
Yeah, +5 to hit and for damage, but
Wonder,
only for an hour.
I wonder if I would be
What are you going to ask me if it works on your skeletons?
No, I'm just thinking about if I want to use it. I'll probably spend some time creating undead and animating dead.
Okay. Just let me know about how many you're gonna be
Okay.
animating here. What are the rest of you doing during this time?
I am praying and prepping my spells.
Okay. And what about you, Donkey Jank?
Let's see. What's Donkey Jank doing? I think Donkey Jank is just leaning up by the corner. He's posting up and resting up.
Posting up.
Yep, he knows he's got a hard night of drinking ahead of him.
Yeah, you have to post up when you got the rest of the night ahead of you. Torgoth, you with us?
Yeah, I'm just my computer's black right now.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. Why don't we wait until you can get? Is it cool if we wait for him to get logged into Roll20?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hold you guys up.
No, not at all.
I'm sorry I was late.
No, you're good.
This is what's
We
going
were
on right
actually just
now.
talking about what would you do if you were in a restaurant and you saw these tourists come in and they started all drinking at this table and then they started to shout boobs? What would you do?
Scream. My computer's on now. It's just loading.
I think it helped that everybody in that restaurant was drinking.
Mm.
So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think happens when you use the beacon?
No,
I think
I have a theory.
I'd like to hear them before you guys go through. Go through with it.
My guess is that I think if I remember correctly, something happened to two dragons where they were sealed in a portal.
Yeah. So, when you were at the tomb of the one true God, they, you found those hieroglyphs and murals that depicted these dragons battling it out and then going through a portal.
Yep, that's kind of my guess.
Okay. Interesting. What about the rest of you?
I think we get power at a cost.
Okay. What about you, Dave?
I think it's a misunderstanding. The beacon is spelled BEAKEN, and there's a large toucan involved.
The whole continent is just a giant mechanical bird.
Yeah, you're not going to believe what he likes to yell at people.
What do you like? What does he like to yell at people?
He likes to yell jokes, so he gets one mad dude.
I heard that. I heard that he is.
If it's true or not.
I don't know. He'll probably say something about being really fucking mad.
He must have just lost at Halo or something to be so mad. Oh man, I was listening to this playlist today. I wonder if I still have it. The title of the playlist was, let me see if I have it here. I think I do. It says, you slowly realize that you weren't meant to save the world, but instead to destroy it. And it's a villain playlist. So it starts out like really hopeful through the hero's journey, and then it just gets darker and darker and darker and darker. It's really good.
Mm.
Darren, does your coworker want to play in the?
Yeah, so I haven't asked them yet. I was because I was still kind of like worried if it'd be too much with Colin, his coworker, but also given how often he actually makes it, we probably wouldn't have an overpopulation problem.
I honestly don't think.
But otherwise,
I don't think his coworker's going to join. I mean, he himself hasn't been here for like a month, so.
right. So yeah, I might, 'cause I know he's definitely been jonesing to try out D&D for like over a year now.
Just want them, they're going to be sorely disappointed.
But I'll wait until we're actually doing KG instead of trying to get him into a high level against the Giants.
Oh yeah, that would be hard, difficult to come into a high level campaign like that. Or
yep. So I'll wait for King's Garden.
It has a name, but I can't reveal it yet because spoilers.
It's called King's Landing.
I almost shot my beer through my nose. I think the days of me drinking liquor are long gone, boys.
Yup. Well, my days of shots have passed, but I'll still have mixed drinks and whatnot.
Yeah, mixed drinks are okay. But ooh, man, taking shots? No, thank you.
I'd probably do like a maximum of 1 or 2 now.
1 or 2 shots?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, damn,
I'd do like one or 2 shots and then like 15 mixed drinks.
I mean, if you make something with soda, yeah, I can put those away. But I don't even drink that much soda now.
Yeah.
Probably hardly at all, honestly. I'm gonna go grab another beer, then we'll start back up.
Yeah, kind of summon some guys before we long rest.
Okay. Are you in Roll20?
Yeah.
All right, cool. You just let me know, and I'll just make duplicates of these guys, or whatever, you know.
Okay, I wrote down the numbers.
Okay. All right. What do you want for Christmas, little boy? And then imagine the little boy says that. Instead of 14 skeletons, can I trade you a bone golem? Or no?
Okay.
I mean, I'll gladly give you 14 skelly boys.
Yeah, I'll do a bone golly.
Do you have a stat block, or do you need me to link one for you?
I'll have to find it.
I think I might probably have one saved somewhere too. So, all right, and then you need 6 ghouls. Let me see if I can get a ghoul. All right.
I got one. I got a stat block for him.
Cool. Is the skeleton count exchange fair? I tried to remember how many skeletons you said it would take to make a bone golem in the first campaign. I feel like it was something close to that number, right? Like 14, 16 or something like that?
Yeah.
18 maybe?
18 million. That sounds about right.
18 million?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you got it at a deal then. Oh shoot, I left my beer downstairs. All right, so you do that and
3 health. Okay. Okay.
All right, so Torgoth summons his undead horde. What are you guys doing?
Watching him summon his undead horde. I got nothing I need to do in the meantime.
Before we interact with this thing, I want to introduce everybody to Patrick. I mean, Pat. Sorry.
Oh, do you need one of those too?
Yeah, just search for a blob of red.
Yep. Let me hop on the Trove one. It'll take 1 sec.
Well, you can just search for the color red.
Well, they didn't have anything, surprisingly. How about this?
That'll do.
A little bit bigger, like this? Right?
Yeah, he's large. And I'm going to shrink this golem.
Do you need me to shrink him down?
Yeah, shrink him to 4 squares. Yeah.
Okay, so in order to summon this creature, you would have to be holding the black stone in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so so you summon Patrick from the myriad of pools of blood scattered around the temple. They sort of congeal into a conglomerate blob that obeys your commands.
I just need control over the ghouls.
Oh, my bad. I thought I gave you control. Damn, sorry, dude. I thought for sure I put it in here that. Okay. You have control. What do you guys wish to do?
All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm still getting pop-ups. I'm gonna make can I make a hero's feast?
Your ones are still active because they last for 24 hours.
Well, I thought we were taking a long rest.
Oh, we did, but a long rest is only 8 hours. So we have 16 hours left.
So we can do a hero's feast?
I mean, if you want,
buff is still
have the benefit.
It'll be active still for 16 hours. Like only 8 hours have gone by. So.
Okay. So if we sleep, it'll still be up.
You guys slept 8 hours already, so there's 16 hours left on your buff.
Well, I got 19 HP last time. It would be okay.
Does anybody else have any prep that they need to do?
No, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Three, 4.
So it looks like, I'm assuming the beacon looks like it does have 3 spots for the stones, or they just need to be
Yeah, so hold on. Yeah, so there's a pedestal directly in front of you to your right here. There's 2 others here and here, and you notice that there's one in the back. There's also
I guess one.
There's also there's a housing in the center from which you've seen in your dream that is where the Numinos goes.
I will place the Numinos.
Okay. You delicately insert the Numinos into the beacon, and it begins to gyrate in perpetual motion. But its radiant light does not issue forth from the top of the beacon.
Cool. And I guess we can all go.
I guess nothing happened. Guess it's time to make our way home.
Yeah, let's go back to Eastvale.
Okay.
Let's go to Eastvale.
What else do you do, Agrius?
I guess I'll take my black stone and put it in the receptacle.
You insert the stone into the housing, and it issues forth a bright, brilliant purple radiance, stronger than any other point that you've seen so far. And it bathes the room in bright purple light.
Okay, I'll do that too.
Okay, you do the same, and the same thing happens. So it issues forth a brilliant purple radiance that bathes the room in brilliant purple light. Donkey Jang?
Mine's broken. I'm kidding. I'm gonna go ahead and follow suit. And
okay,
put it into the slot.
So you insert that into the housing, and the same thing happens. Once the 3 stones are inserted, they begin to crackle and hum with energy, glowing with a brilliant purple light. Within moments, the humming grows louder and louder, the brilliance of the stones bathing the room in the glow of purple light. Beams of energy issue forth from the stones in an arc, semicircle. From that beam of energy, tendrils of dark energy pull before you, forming and wavering before finally stabilizing. Before stabilizing into a portal that swirls with dark purple energies. Gotcha.
So, is there anything coming out of the portal, or is it
Nope,
there?
the portal is just standing there. It's stabilized before you.
Let's go in.
You want to go through?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me grab Dane DeMar. Sorry, can you move your... Oh my God. No, bring it back. Bring it back up. I'll just grab everybody. Yeah.
You know what that is?
What?
You know what all those are?
What?
What's the power of friendship?
Oh my God. All right, give me 1 sec.
Equip the one of the whites with that long sword.
Okay, bloody longsword.
If possible at all.
Yeah, you can
the
do
same
that.
one, studded leather.
Okay, we'll have to mark him then.
Yeah, I'll give him a mark.
All right, just give me 1 sec to get everybody moved through here. All right, so you guys move to step through the portal, and as you do so, the housing holding the stones ejects them, and they return to your presence. But the portal remains stationary.
Nice.
All right, with that said...
Thanks, Portal Goth.
All right, lads. So you step through the portal and find yourself on a large platform. Give me a second. I have so many maps here. Drifting through an endless silver sea. Soft gray clouds move slowly in the distance, while strange dark streaks twist violently through the sky, anchored in ends so distant you could not possibly perceive them. Their middle parts revolving angrily like pieces of string rolled between your fingertips. Looking around, you find yourself surrounded by more of this pearly sky. Drawing in breath, you feel your lungs fill with something sweeter and more solid than air. Behind you, the portal does not close, but instead hums with energy. The black stones illuminate a brilliant purple light in response. Ahead of you lies a raised platform with a doorway, where another similarly sized portal mirrors the one that you just came through. Before you lies a vast silvery sea, and like I said, to the north, a doorway. Any guesses where you might be?
In the astral sea.
You might be. Oh, excuse me, one sec. I'm back. Sorry, my mom called.
Good.
All right, so some things about the astral sea. Is there penguin archery here? I doubt it. All right, so I guess before I proceed, what do you guys wish to do?
Look for the bathrooms.
You can just go here.
Perfect.
One of my ghouls had an accident.
That's okay.
I mean, I guess I'll just kind of take in the surroundings.
Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm gonna look around. I want to see. There's like, is this a door?
Yes. It's a doorway with instead of a door, there's a portal similar to the one that you just stepped through.
I'm gonna make my way over there.
You want to make your way over there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you walk along this platform, and as you approach, you see that there's this sort of raised dais, and atop the dais there's a doorway, but instead of a door there, you find a portal, the same kind of brilliant purple colored portal that you just came through.
Man, these are just platforms. There's nothing really on them.
No, I mean you could go check them, but from where you are, you don't see anything there.
We'll do a quick little sweep.
Okay, so what are you doing whenever you walk over there?
Just kind of looking at the ground and also kind of looking up into the horizon as I go.
Okay, the horizon itself seems to stretch into infinity. So yeah, it's I know the background's purple, but I couldn't do anything about it. It's an endless silvery sea, all kinds of colors and lights in the distance, strange dark clouds twisting violently through the sky, and you know, in a place like the astral sea, some other things that you might see are like floating dead gods or you know, astral abominations. Did you want to make a perception check or anything, or you just?
Sure.
I
Oh my god! It is.
Oh, never mind.
Go ahead, Torgob.
Well, I have a path of perception. 20.
Okay. Does that help you see things from the middle of this platform?
I don't know. I don't know. Hey, why is there blood here?
The blood I grabbed from the accidentally when I selected everybody.
Okay.
So it's not supposed to be there.
Okay.
Agrius, you notice that there is an indentation here with a 20. It's supposed to be a circle.
Like, and it's that big?
No. It should be.
Is it like 5 feet or 1 foot?
What the fuck? Yeah, it should be like 5 feet in a circle around your character. So like a square, but if it was like this.
Okay.
It sucks.
I will, first and foremost, I may have heard a little bit about the Astral Sea. I'm going to see if I can float. I'm just going to think about floating or flying and see what happens.
Interestingly enough, yeah, so when you think about floating, your feet leave the platform.
Yeah, all right. All right, I will.
So if we're gonna get into movement and everything, are some other things about the Astral Sea. So wisdom takes over dexterity on the astral plane. Wisdom becomes your armor class modifier and initiative bonus. And any action that would normally require dexterity should use wisdom instead, including acrobatics, sleight of hand, stealth, range attacks, and finesse.
Nice.
Twice strength. But I didn't want to get into all this. I don't know what you guys are going to do. That's just for while you're in the Astral Sea. So what were you going to ask me, Agrius?
Oh, I was just gonna kind of poke the circle with my sword and see.
Okay. So it is sort of like a depression, like an indentation, like something might have sat there long ago. So you poke it with your sword and nothing happens, but perhaps you notice that something could be set there.
Cool, noted.
I know that does not really.
Okay, I mean, I'll make that mental note and assume the other ones might be similar. And then I'm just going to, without saying anything to my companions, I'm going to run and jump. And then bloop, bloop.
Okay. So you think about jumping, right? Floating?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you leave the platform and you're thinking about floating or flying over there, and you manage to just levitate over there with ease. Like it's nothing. Donkey, what are you up to?
I'm gonna get my pixie dust out and think happy thoughts.
Okay.
I'm sorry, janky thoughts.
I thought you were gonna call it janky dust.
Janky
That's a really
dust.
interesting. That's a really interesting term for PCP.
That's what my character's been doing this whole entire time. Janky dust. Man.
I feel like if an orc did PCP, they would be the most dangerous predator in the world for at least like 20 minutes.
Oh my, that's funny.
All right, so yes, go ahead.
I guess Donkey Jank is going to go ahead and move around to one of the other. I'm going to observe Agrius kind of floating in the sea, and I'm going to move over to the platform here. And what I will do is I will spring off of the platform here. Let's move here. I'll spring off of the
Okay.
platform here and then go over to this platform.
Are you thinking about trying to levitate like Agrius did?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, with that thought in your mind, you make the leap of faith, so to speak, and you find that you're able to levitate over to this platform.
Okay.
So what are you doing over here?
I'd like to go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Go ahead.
On this slab here.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yes.
Okay. With a 12, you managed to notice that. I mean, it's pretty obvious that there's an indentation here in the center of the platform. It's about 5 feet in circumference, maybe
Okay.
a little smaller. But if you were over here observing Agrius, you would have seen him messing around with something on this platform to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So you find a similar sort of depression there.
Okay.
Well, like I said, about 5 feet in circumference, and looks like maybe you could set something there if you had to.
All right. With that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main platform here.
Okay.
I'm going to think about levitating, and I'm going to travel over to the side.
All right. Well, if you get over the platform and manage to levitate across the astral sea there and land with ease.
All right. I'm going to go up and start approaching the door.
Okay. Just give me a second. All right, so you approach the dais and the doorway. The door is massive, so you get to it. It looks to be anywhere between 60 to 80 feet tall, and it's already on a raised platform. The doorway itself would be empty except for the portal that stands before you. It resembles the one you just came through.
Okay.
What do you guys want to do?
I'm not going to do anything yet, but I'd like to draw my weapon and see if me like swinging my axe is affected by being in the astral sea.
Okay, I'm glad that you brought that up. So I have a whole thing of combat rules here. So, like I said, intelligence is going to replace your strength because the astral plane is the realm of the mind. So your intelligence score takes the place of your strength score to determine attack and damage bonuses or penalties, as well as carrying capacity, which we don't track, ability to bend, lift, and so on. Any action that would normally require strength should use intelligence instead, including the athletic skill. So maybe you just have to think about how hard you want to swing your axe, as opposed to just being able to do it with your arm like you normally would.
Okay.
Also, because movement is more every dimensional in the astral sea, it's easy to get caught off guard if you're fighting here. So Attackers can surprise people from above and below, allowing for extra flanking opportunities. Attackers who have higher ground advantage. Yeah, attackers. So, excuse me. Anybody who has higher ground has advantage attack. So if you're floating above somebody and you're fighting them, you'd have advantage.
Noted.
All right, so you're swinging your axe. Torgoth? Agnes? Oh, sorry. I thought you were AFK.
No, I don't. Are we just exploring these things here? Or we just try to go through here?
I think. I'm going to step through. I think those things might come into play later, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, let's go through.
Okay, lads.
And I have to. Oops. You'll have to go over those things again.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, cool.
I will. Don't you worry. All right. So you step through the portal. The portal leads to a strip of barren earth, sandwiched between the edge of the infinite. Before you, there's a moat of some kind of purple liquid. This strip of land and moat run along this plain's borders, creating an island at the center of the plain. Upon this island sits a strange building, an imposing structure of black adamantine, shaped and carved by some strange magic. Atop of this structure is a great and giant black crystal, purple crystal, black purplish crystal, not unlike the ones that you carry. The crystal at the top of this structure crackles with energy, and in the distance you hear a deep and angry roar.
No, but we're back at it.
What do you do?
We said we heard the roar come from this area.
Yeah, almost as if it was within this crystal.
And we see this little ship here.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. So as you would approach from here, so you come out right here, you would see this strange ship in the distance.
Huh.
It looks, it looks like a pirate ship, but it's like levitating above the water just a little.
Does it look like there's anybody inside
of the ship?
Yeah, or on it, like.
So I'm not sure. How far would you be able to see? This area itself is very well. So if you came over here, this building is very tall. If you came over here, you wouldn't see anybody on.
Okay. Yep, I would probably just like fly up above where I currently am and look down at the ship. And then while I'm up here, I guess I will maybe try to glance down into this little portal thing.
So that is actually above you. It looks like it comes out of the building.
Oh yeah, I'm flying.
Oh
I'm
yes,
floating
my
out.
bad.
No, you don't.
Yeah, so it's a massive crystalline structure, and as you observe it, you notice that it crackles with this magical radiance and this energy. It seems like can barely be contained. And once again, you hear this this deep, angered roar from within.
All right. I'm just gonna take a single gold piece out of my pocket and sort of toss it at the purple or into it and just see if it goes through or if it gets shocked or what happens to it.
Okay, so you throw this gold coin, and you watch as it tumbles down closer and closer to the prism, and as it enters into this housing, this metallic casing, these electrical energies just kind of zap it away, as if they were swatting a fly away. Does that make sense? So you drop the coin in there,
Yeah.
and then as it gets closer and closer to the crystal, these magical energies kind of just zap it away.
All right. I will tell my party what I see.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
So, did we interact with this in any way, or did it just kind of push us back?
You would have to ask Agrias about that.
I guess.
Yeah.
Did it do anything, or did it what happens here?
All right. So I took a coin and I threw it at it, and it seemed to go through. Must be another portal.
It went through it?
No, it was
Yeah. So it's supposed to be a portal.
no, it was knocked away.
Oh, I missed that part. I totally misheard you
No,
somehow.
it enters the housing, and the electrical energy knocks it away, like a fly.
Oh, all right. So then it came flying back out.
It just
somewhere?
flies off into the distance harmlessly.
Oh, how the fuck did I miss
Sorry,
that?
dude.
Okay, cool.
I thought I spoke clearly.
No, you're good. I have no idea what's going on in my head. Awesome.
Let's look at that boat. We'll come over here and look at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It resembles what you would know to be a pirate ship in your world, or any sort of naval vessel. This ship, however, levitates just ever so slightly above the liquid's surface. You don't see anyone moving on the deck.
All right. Well, I might make
Maybe
landing.
I need to make that a little bit bigger, I think.
That's what he said.
They make pumps for that, I heard.
Uh-huh.
All right, so it should actually probably be like this, at least, I'm thinking. Probably. My bad. Okay, yeah, so you land on.
Hell yeah.
All right, so what are you doing once you get there?
I am going to look for any sort of doors.
Doors?
Yeah, like assuming I don't know if there's any sort of cabin
there's
or
a
if it's
cabin,
like
and it looks like the cabin's over here, towards the aft section.
all right. And I think I will, before I do anything else, I think I might listen and see if I hear anything.
Okay. Well, I'll tell Torgoth with his high passive perception. The calm is almost maddening. You don't really hear anything except for the sound of the water lapping the island in the center of wherever you are.
Okay. I will open the cabin door.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't have a map for this, so it's just gonna all have to be narration. So you open the cabin door, and it's a little dark in there. Could shine a light if you wished.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So you go ahead and shine a light in the cabin, and you're greeted with a somewhat macabre sight. You could take it that this would be the captain's cabin. So there's a great round table in the center of the, and back against the wall there are two long shelving units, and they're filled with some strange looking skulls.
Mm-hmm.
Like a skull rack.
I am not going to set foot in the room, but I will look back and tell my party what I see.
Get a skull that I need. I don't know if that's really what I need. They're kind of elongated, like this. I doubt that you've seen a creature like this. They look kind of like this. There's just rows after rows of them.
Huh.
Maybe if you were metagaming, you would definitely know what that is, but I doubt that your character would know too much about that.
Nope, fair enough. I will pass that all along to my party.
So you don't go in, you just look at the skulls and back out of the room? Okay.
Correct. And then I'll tell them what I see.
1 sec.
Sounds good. All right, so while you do that, I'm going to take a piss real quick. Give me 1 minute.
I'd like to go over to the crystalline structure, and I'd like to see how the black stone reacts to it.
Okay. So are you going to go up here, or if you go here, there's a set of doors. Were you going to go up top?
Yeah, kind of like where Agrius was, where he, was able to toss attempt to toss the coin into it.
Okay. All right, so you bring the stone up to around the same area, and what, you're taking it out and holding it above? Like, what are you doing with it?
Yeah, I just want to hold it close to the structure. I just want to see if it reacts in any strange way.
Okay, so when you hold it close to the crystal, it glows with the brilliant radiance is brighter than it's ever been. It threatens to blind you, and hums in response to the electrical energy that is encapsulating this crystal.
Okay.
So glows with a brighter radiance than you've ever seen it, and the humming hums in response to this. Also, when you bring it close to this crystal, you hear again that deep roar that you've heard a couple times since you've been here. Let me see if I can get a roar sound effect. All right. Yeah, that. So give that a listen. It's only 11 seconds. So that's kind of the sound that you keep hearing as you're in this space wherever you are.
All right.
What do you do?
What do the doors look like?
They're large black doors of they're black adamantine. They look like they've been shaped and carved by some strange magic. They're probably about 15 feet tall.
All right. Well, that might be the next logical course of action, I guess. If you guys wanted to peek inside, unless you want to do something else with the ship.
I try to open the door.
Okay. Who opens the door?
I do. I mean, Gulio does.
Gulio?
Yeah.
You're such a good almost necromancer. Okay, just a second. Okay, so you open the door and it leads to, you go inside and you end up in this hallway. The floors are this strange off-white color, and the walls are this kind of mauve-colored purple. The hallway leads to a large round but empty room, and at the other end of the hall is a doorway.
Gulio knows what to do.
What are you doing?
Let's open up the next one.
Okay. All right. You go forth and open up the door. It leads to a hallway. There's an intersection that goes to the east and the west, and also to the north. Now, how far can you see? The interior is well lit.
Oh, I should go see all of it.
Excellent. I don't know if you'd be able to see all that from where you are. You might have to go a little bit closer.
Yeah. You know.
But the first thing that you notice as you clear this round room and go through the doorway is that the room ahead of you opens up, and you get your first good look at the crystalline housing.
Mm-hmm.
There's also something else there that draws your gaze. Is this large ornate-looking structure. It almost looks like it was carved, though not by a human hand. It's in the shape of a giant skull. Yeah, it draws your gaze.
And we see left and right.
Yes. I should note that in here, the combat rules to the Astral Sea do not apply.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yes. I wanted to make note of that. You'll find out more here, but. All right, so these hallways, east and west, It looks like they split to the south. Donkey Jank, ahead of you, you see a curious sight. There's an illithid. The creature stands and stares at you, but makes no overly hostile movements. Instead, it beckons you towards it with a long purple finger in kind of like a come over movement. And you hear a voice in the back of your mind. Long have we waited, but at last you've arrived.
I'm going to go ahead and turn to my companions, and I'm going to say, guys, there's nothing to see here. We should probably go a different route.
All right.
Okay.
Do you guys
What do I
want to?
see when I get here?
Yeah. Do you want to explore the sides first, or do you just want to go into the room?
Yeah, we go to the sides.
All right.
So I have to say that I fucked up the tile here. I'm still learning how to use Dungeon Draft, and I couldn't figure out how to get this stretch of tile here to be the same. So you guys probably wouldn't have noticed it if I wouldn't have said anything, but you know,
You know.
some of these map programs are great, but they're, the learning curve is pretty steep. All right, so Torgoth, you come in here with your army of the dead, and you see this strange structure. It's a very large structure, and it hums with almost arcane energy. And it feeds into almost like a ley line at the top of the ceiling. So this central part here feeds into some sort of ley line that runs along the ceiling.
I just see that.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry, I can hardly hear you though. Hello?
I don't know what to do with it.
You don't know what to do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. Dude, it's D&D. Of course you don't know what to do with it.
Is there anything else in this room?
Yes.
Like over here?
Straight ahead,
Yep.
you see, so to an orc like yourself, it's an extremely strange sight. In this room, there's a very large tank of liquid with something suspended inside. Two smaller tanks line the northeastern side of the wall with some strange machinery to either side of the room and a control panel along the western edge of the wall.
Mm.
Although I'm not, as an orc, this would be extremely strange.
Okay.
So, but yeah, the key points of note: 3 big vats of liquid and some strange machinations. Machinations.
All right. Do you guys want to check out anything in here?
Does it look like it's actively bubbling or anything? Like, does it look fresh?
So it's definitely, I don't know what you would call it. It's these machines are pumping something into this big tank. And so the water is, filtering, or I don't know. I can't think of the term. Like how an aquarium is when you have fish and the filter runs? I don't know. Yes,
Got
to
it.
answer your question.
Cool.
Percolating?
Yeah, I have anything that I would want or need to do. Briefly, but it's smashing it, but might be wise to wait,
Okay.
perhaps. We get down here.
Down where?
I was asking the party if we're good in this
My
room.
bad.
Yeah, I'm good in
All right,
here.
good.
How do I?
All right.
There we go. So here's atmosphere. It's a cool website I found, tabletopaudio.com. It's all just ambient.
Neat.
Yeah, check it out.
Oregon Trail. Ooh, alien reactor.
Oh man, they have one for Mind Flayer Chamber. I'm gonna link that one too, so you guys can figure out. You don't have to listen to any of them if you don't.
Is there
All
anything
right, so
to the north in
I'm
this
sorry. Go
hallway?
ahead.
Is there anything up north?
No,
Okay.
nope. It's pretty. The layout is pretty Spartan.
All right.
All right, then I guess east. Meanwhile, the mind flares. What the fuck's he doing?
What?
So meanwhile, the illithid is like, what the fuck is he
They're
doing?
just standing there waiting. You guys like New Dane DeMar?
He looks neat.
All right, so over here you find another hallway, and you notice in this hallway that there are the same ley lines running along the ceiling as they were over here. In this room, you find another one of those strange objects. The top part of it leads to the ceiling, where this energy feeds into the ley line that heads north. You know what I mean when I say like a ley line?
Yep.
It's like think of it would be like wiring, but it's more of a magical energy that runs along the top of the ceiling. All right, Donkey Jenks, you peer around the corner here, and to your surprise, you find a library. Not a big one, but a library nonetheless.
Okay.
I need to turn this down. All right, so I see you guys are moving into the library.
Me.
Slash eat. Okay, yeah, you could. There's a ton of books in here, so you could start pulling from them and eating if you wanted.
I will.
Okay. All right, so you start to pull books from the shelving and I guess rip out the pages and crumple them and eat them.
Another hero's feast.
Can we?
I mean, it doesn't stack, I don't think. So if you want to, you could try. It doesn't.
Well, I was just joking because it was a feast for Torgoth.
Anybody else doing anything?
Nah, my curiosity is starting to get the better of me. So Agris is kind of like get a little antsy and sort of make his way back in a like semi-obvious, sort of not obvious way.
Okay. All right, Agri. So you start heading down the hall. What about you, Donkey Jank? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow suit. I'm gonna make my way back to the room.
Here. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and reveal this whole. All right, so you enter this room where this illithid is waiting, and ahead you see this great crystalline structure. But only when you get past the doorway do you realize just how large it is. So you enter this central chamber, and you see that there are not one, but three illithid within this chamber, standing before this great crystalline structure. And they vary as much in appearance as they do in any other way. The one in the center has dark purple skin, almost a mauve, whereas the one to the left has a bluish tinted skin. He's wearing long robe and appears to be working some sort of magic between his fingers. Torgoth, with a passive perception of 23 or whatever it is, you notice that this illithid on the right is far different than the other two in appearance and mannerisms, and possibly the biggest thing that sticks out to you is that he carries a strange greatsword. The blade is black obsidian, almost as black as the universe itself.
I wonder what it tastes like.
What's that?
As black as King Varn.
Blacker than King Varn.
Whack.
Whack.
That is pretty black. You better shoot him because he looks like he poses the threat.
So the two on the flank sort of glower at you as you enter the chamber, and the one in the middle holds out his arms almost in form of greeting, and you notice that he levitates slightly above the ground. So who's in the lead?
Galador.
Man, that would be a dick move. Who's leading?
Pat.
I guess I can, unless someone else wants to.
All right, Agrius. So you're in the lead, and as you approach, in your mind, you hear a voice. Ah, at last you've arrived. We have awaited this moment through the ages. You've done well to return the stones to. We've waited so long that our mission here is nearly complete. He gestures to the crystalline object behind him and looks at you.
So he's basically hinting that we need to go place stones on this thing again.
He just is looking at you. He gestured to the crystalline object behind him and looked back at you. What era are you now in?
The era of the swampy sea turtle.
Is that what you say?
I'm just going to say the only era, the era of humankind.
Humankind.
He's wrong.
He
It's the
exchanges
sea turtle.
the sea turtle, humankind and sea turtle. He exchanges a knowing glance with his companions and says, then the time has come at last. He says, long before your common era, after their victory against the giants and before the rise of your people, the dragons warred for hundreds of years against our own people, the Illithid, and we did not fare well in this struggle. As the war dragged on, we sought other measures to combat the dragons. Fate itself interceded on our behalf when we discovered these black stones and their potential. My kin rejected them outright, but myself and few others split away from the control of the outer brain. Few amongst us supplement their psionic powers with arcane spells. Our acceptance of this gift led to our kin regarding us as deviants and shunned. The arcanists among us were seen as outcasts, and we grew to resent being controlled by the and sought magic that could lead to protection from its influence. Over time, we sought other arcanists, growing in numbers so that we could seek the destruction of our former colony. We seek to, well, that's all I'll say for now. He says that they have waited. He's not sure how long. He says, in this realm, time does not pass. One does not need to eat or sleep or drink.
I want to ask him what the contraption behind him does.
He looks over his shoulder and then back at you, and he says, it is a prison. It contains a great, well, perhaps what once was a great silver dragon, though now he is something else entirely. We've been experimenting on him these last hundreds of years. I'm afraid he's quite mad. He says, our coven sought the destruction of our colonies that had exiled us. And we also sought to continue the war between our people and the dragons, so that we could weaken both sides. Our order would rise out of the ashes. To that end, we began the construction of a series of beacons that would light the way for a great host of the Illithid that wanders throughout the astral sea. we sought to light the way for their invasion of your world. However, and before we were able to put our plan into action, the great silver dragon Meraxi learned of our intent and attempted to prevent our lighting of and attacked us. During his attack, we lured him through an open portal into the astral sea, where in his rage he foolishly followed me here into the demi-plane, where I imprisoned him within the crystal you see behind me. He says, my companions that followed me were also trapped here. Those of our order that remained outside of the beacon with the other 3 black stones and the numinos, I assume were slaughtered by the great red dragon that accompanied Meraxes. For 100 years, we've waited for the stones to be returned, and here you are. You see, the stones power the beacon, and the numinos provides the power of the beacon's light. It will summon the Illithid host. Once the Nautiloid fleet arrives, we will unleash Meraxes in all of his fury upon your world, that he may destroy them and consume the souls of the dead into the soul engine. I don't know what to call it. It's like a reliquary that eats souls. So they want to summon the Illithid fleet to Telos to because they know that the dragons will rise to combat them, and then they're going to unleash this dragon that's encased in this crystalline prison that they've been experimenting on for the last couple 100 years, so that he can just wreak havoc across the known world, and he'll harvest souls with this soul harvester.
Uh-huh.
The Illithid continues, the beacon by design was meant to tempt your people. We knew that the weakness of humanity promises of great power that inevitably drives one, commoners and highborn alike, to seek out the stones. They use them to light the beacon, believing the gateway will grant them some great power, unaware that their true purpose is to guide the great invasion host to your own material plane. We will use this dragon to burn the world to ash, and we will rule over what is left. They didn't kill the giants. It was after they had. So it was after the downfall of the story. Make sense?
You.
I know it's kind of a lot. It was really hard to try and work it into the story, but it's a wink from me. All right, dog. Thanks, Randy. Whatever. What's that guy's name on American Idol? Randy Johnson? Randy Jackson. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what he tells you, Agrius.
Cool. I'm going to say it's a shame that I have no intention of handing this Blackstone over, but instead you're going to die where you stand, and we will take this for ourselves. You greatly underestimate humanity and their lust for power, and that will be your downfall. And as I say that, I am also going to cast Spiritual Weapon right behind him and attack him.
All right.
25.
Yeah, 25 hits. After this, everybody roll for initiative.
20.
All right. You hit him for 20 damage, and he slams the end of his staff into the ground, and it crackles with this dark electricity. And in the back of your mind, you feel this anger of a mental assault. And he says, so be it. You have sealed your fate. You have no idea what you would unleash in this world. All right, so let's roll for initiative and then get started. Where the fuck is Danger Moore? Oh, nice roll, Total Goth. Holy shit. Hey, you guys remember that time Kyle missed the end of the campaign?
Dude, Spider-Man was here all along.
Dude, just like he was in Japan. You
Taking
guys know he
all
went
the
to Japan with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was taking all the pictures. You talk about making somebody look like a jackass. Uh-oh, Total Goth.
This was a regular initiative, right? Not the wisdom stuff, right?
Correct.
Yeah, no. So I'll say that you guys are in a demi-plane where those rules do not apply.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, we are ready. All right, Agrius, so you hit him for 20. And it's going to be his turn. So I think that he is going to... Let me just look at this spell block here. I had all these opened up, and then I wasn't sure if Dave was coming. So I just did not. All right, Agrius. So you attack him, and he sort of levitates backwards a little bit, and he's going to point his finger at you, and from the end of his finger, there's this dark green light that kind of shoots out in your direction. And he says, so be it. So, make a dexterity saving throw. Agrius, did you hear me? Hello?
Sorry, I just step away for a minute.
That's okay. So you hit him and like levitate back a little bit, and he points his finger at you. And at the end of his fingertip, you see this dark green light, and he's going to attack you. So make a dexterity saving throw.
You gotta do.
Godspeed, son. Okay.
9.
So he points at you, and in the back of your mind, you hear this, so be it. A thin green ray springs from his pointing finger towards you, and it is going to hit you. Oh, man. So he casts Disintegrate at you and hits you for 74.
Alrighty.
and he will end his turn. After him, it's Total Goth. Hey, the
Okay.
second tabletop audio is really good. The Mind Flayer layer. All right, Turtle Man.
Here's what we got. We got
I'm ready.
Patrick. Patrick's gonna come up here. Sorry, Pat. Sorry, why do I keep calling Patrick for some reason? Pat comes up here, and he's just, he's just gonna do his thing. He's gonna enter his space. Oops. And use Blood Drain.
Oh, you're gonna have to tell me about that because I don't have his stat block.
I got it.
Sounds good, bro.
So Blood Drain. He enters the space. Creature must make a DC 15 Strength save.
Gotcha. All right, so let me see. Fail. Oh, and while you guys are having this battle, you keep hearing the colossal dragon roar sound.
Okay, so he's gonna take 2d10 necrotic. And he'll move away a little bit this way.
Okay.
And then he gains.
He gains that in temporary health, right?
So he gains half of that in temp health.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so.
Okay.
His stat block.
Bone Golem over here is gonna look at this guy here with the sword. And he's gonna say a cliche one-liner in the face of the bone to pick with him. And I want to use Bone Prison.
Oh shit! Okay, so he has to make a save, right? You have to run up to him, right, to do that.
It says one creature can see within 60 feet.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then it's a prison of magic bones. DC is 15 dex.
All right. Well, wouldn't you know it that this guy's name is Vesk?
Extra.
Oh, look at that, 16.
Okay. I'll have him advance.
Okay.
Okay. And then the next, I'm going to have these guys split up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 6. Okay. So they're just gonna I guess they'll just move up here for double move.
Okay.
Okay, they'll just double move, just stack them. Stack this guy. Next we'll have these 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's gonna actually make an attack. on him with +4 slashing.
Okay.
Okay.
Miss.
And he only gets 1 attack, right? Yeah. He'll come out this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll get this one right here. He's gonna attack him. A 15 AC.
Miss.
Okay. And now Total Goth is gonna move here. 1, hang on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he's gonna have this guy come up here. Actually, I'm gonna have them spread out and be archers.
Okay. Can you mark the one that you gave the
Yeah, he's got a trophy.
armor to? Okay. Why don't we also make him like red and blue? He's the police.
Yeah, he's
He's
the
the
police
party
guy.
police.
Okay, so I'm gonna have them shoot all the ghouls, the white fire arrows at this guy.
Okay. So now that you get a good look at him, he is wearing what looks to be like some sort of a breastplate.
Okay. They all have +4 and 2 attack. Okay. So there's 5 of them. So 1, 2,
2 hits. You're rolling a lot for only having 5 ghouls.
oh, these are for the whites.
Where did they get bows from? Or do they get bows in their
They
stat
get,
block?
yeah, they have them in their stat block. They attack twice.
My bad. All right, so
Okay.
his AC is 18. So anything over 18 is going to be a hit.
Okay, so the 24, 20,
Yeah,
and 23.
you got a 20 in there. There's 23, 20, and 24. So 3 hits. Not bad.
All right, 1d8 +2. 6, 8, and then here's the critical.
14. And another 14. 28. Nice.
Okay, and my turn's almost over, except for the fact that Total Health hasn't cast the spell yet.
I gotcha. What would he like to cast?
He would like to cast Anti-Magic Field.
Oh, shit. Where is he going to be casting that?
It's self. It's a 10-foot radius sphere.
Why don't we put an aura on you, sir?
I have a purple one. It just needs to be
Yeah, I got it.
10 feet.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Are you doing anything else? Torgoth?
No.
Okay. Donkey Jang.
All right. In typical Donkey Jank fashion, Donkey Jank's going to go ahead and do his somersault. He's going to spring and do his somersault and run over to mid here. Donkey Jank is going to go ahead and use a bonus action, Rage plus Frenzy. And then he is going to do... he's going to attack recklessly.
Holy shit.
18 and a critical hit.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. That would be plus... All right. I'm going to go ahead and roll the crit first since I'm already there. 51. And then 2d6 plus 12. 14. And then there's nothing else around him. All right, here's the regular attack damage then. Plus, let's see, 11.
Your other roll hasn't come in. I still see 51 and 14.
What's that?
I said your other roll hasn't come through yet. I still see just 51 and 14.
Oh,
Maybe
I was just making a mental reminder about what my damage bonus is.
Oh, okay.
14
All right,
and then 2d6 acid. For 7.
So another 21. Okay.
And in typical Donkey Jank fashion, Donkey Jank's going to go ahead and use Action Surge.
All right.
Throw up another 2 attacks. And 29.
Yeah, 29's a hit. Of course it's a hit.
All right. That's going to be 16 and then another 2d6 for 9 acid damage.
Damn, cutting him.
And that's going to go ahead and end my turn.
Okay. All right, Donkey Jank, after you, it is one of these Arcanists over here. So he's in this anti-magic field. I think he's going to move. He's going to move and just eat the opportunity attack.
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
Yep, he'll eat all 4 of them, and we'll see how he does because he's dumb.
Okay. All right, we'll do ghouls first.
I honestly think that his his first instinct would be to distance himself. So 16 hits, 19 hits.
19.
16 and I was looking at 19 and 15 hit.
Okay. 2d4.
Did you roll for yourself?
Not yet. I have a different modifier.
Right, I thought so. I just wanted to.
18, and he needs to make a DC 10 Constitution save. 2 of them.
All right, give me a sec. $17 and 9.
Okay, 17 succeeds, 9 fails, and he's paralyzed for 1 minute.
Gotcha.
I still get an opportunity attack.
Yeah, you still get an opportunity.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome, sir. I got you that for your birthday.
That's pretty early. I got 12, so
I really need you to give me a horse. 12 is a miss. Close, but still a miss. Well, it would be his turn, but he's paralyzed, so he's not going to do anything. Does he get to make a save or anything, or
on this turn, he can make us. Let me read it here.
another con save?
Yeah, you can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on its and on its success. The DC the 10 con.
All right, so he rolled a 14,
Okay.
but he's got to end his turn now. So after him, it's going to be Agrius.
Oh boy.
Can't wait.
I'm going to start by turtle shelling. Oh, I roll for damage first, my bad. 23.
Hit.
Cool. And then 17 damage. I just accidentally rolled it first. And then I think I will play it safe for a minute and use Holy Aura. And let me double check the rate. Okay, 30 foot. All right, and then so that's my action, and then I will move as far as I can, just so I'm in with all of my allies and whatnot. Unfortunately, I can't quite get Turtle Goth in it. And that is my turn.
All right. Well,
So they have disadvantage on attack rolls against us, and we have advantage on saving throws.
okay. If they're inside the aura, right?
If it's for the allies, so even if they're outside of the aura, if they attack me when I'm in my aura, then I have the advantage and stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's Dane DeMar's turn. Who do you want Dane DeMar to engage?
The middle.
His
All right,
name's
well,
Malcolm.
Malcolm in the middle. All right. Well, Dane DeMar comes into the central chamber here, and he has this look of disgust on his curses in Elvish under his breath. He's gonna make some attacks. So at his level now, he makes 3 attacks. Two hits. Hits for 21. And then I think he will also action surge and attack.
There you go, Dane.
Be gone, foul beast. But in Elvish. 2 more hits. For 24. All right. Putting damage down range. That's the end of Dane DeMar's turn. It's going to be Vex's turn. So Vex is going to come over here. Vesk, excuse me. And I think he's just going to attack him. So he raises this dark obsidian blade above his head, and he's going to attack this ghoul 3 times. Oh my god, holy shit. Wow, what a waste of a double crit. Damn, it's a shame that hit a ghoul in Galador.
Ah,
All right, I'll roll the 2 crits first. So first crit, second crit. And then here's the regular damage. All right, Dave, 71. Oh, that's right. Damn, I bet the Black Razor is giving him some shit right now for being a fucking idiot. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll a D10. Roll 3D10.
I don't know, man. That might be metagaming, but
That is kind of metagaming, but also you're right.
I guess it's not metagaming since it didn't affect Dave's actions. It's just that he pointed it
Yeah,
out.
I agree. He takes the damage, and I honestly didn't even think about it. So yeah, go ahead. Let's go ahead and roll
3D10.
You want to roll it, or you want me to roll it?
I got it. I got it.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
Okay. Good catch on that, because honestly, I completely forgot. All right, gents, that's a round down. I gotta take a piss. I'll start with Big Bad up top, and then Total Goth. We can see what you want to do.
When you come back, are you gonna talk about the Mighty Duck movies?
No? Should I? Did you know there's a Mighty Ducks TV show that's on Disney Plus right now?
Mm-mm.
All right. I think what the Big Bad is going to do is he's going to cast Wall of Force here and push all y'all back here.
What's the radius and Wall of Force?
What?
What's the radius on that? Like, how far are we getting pushed back?
So the range is 120 feet. He's going to push you back 50 feet into the hole.
Okay, so the wall is 50 foot long.
Yeah. So
Cool.
it would be 100 feet made up of 10 foot by 10 foot panel. And each panel has to be contiguous with another one. So it could be 5 by 5, whatever, or 10 by 5 or whatever. But he's gonna form it here and push. The range on it is 120 feet. So he's gonna push it 55 and try and seal it against here. So if you are pushing the Wall of Force, I think it just pushes you. I think it just pushes.
I think so. I'm trying to figure out the ruling on this. So the Wall of Force, I think it would only push us if it was like the whole wall was like this. Does the sheer just the force of it when he casts it? Does it literally push us back 50 feet?
I think he's just trying to form the wall here and push you guys away from him. You know?
Oh, okay. I thought you were pushing us all the way back into the hallway.
I think he wants to put a wall here. So form the wall and then use the wall to push you guys back.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were pushing us back like 50 feet.
No, he just wants to create some distance here.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So,
cool. I got you
now the range on it, I think, is 120. But I think he's just going to push you guys back to about there. Or are you saying he can't do it?
I think it only pushed us where the wall would be. So if you made the wall like, let me get my arrow. And maybe I'm misunderstanding you too. But if you did a wall like this, then that would keep pushing us back. Or if it was a really thick double wide wall like this, but I think what happens is it basically pushes us out of the wall if we're in the wall where the wall would be. Pushes us back 10 feet. I just think he doesn't push us back.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, well then let's say he creates a wall. So it can be 10 by 10.
Cool.
So he's just going to use up that 100 feet or whatever to get you guys
Got it. Cool.
out
Cool.
here. So yeah, you're in the right spot. So Donkey Jank and the ghoul need to move, and so he's just going to create some distance. I got to pee, but I'll be right back. Torgoth, it's going to be your turn.
So what I will do is, where's the wall at? Okay. So it's occupying those 5 foot squares, or?
Yeah. He just shaped it so that he could push away from.
So I could just kind of box people in?
Yeah, I think he was just trying to create some distance.
Okay.
You know, the spell says that it can just be, it has to be a contiguous section of panel. So he just kind of formed it in a way that would stretch out his advantage.
I got you. Okay, so first I would like to have a ghoul come over here, and I want to mentally command them to restrain this person.
All right.
So he's already paralyzed.
Well, he made the
Or no,
same.
no, he just. Oh, you're right. Right.
So, but he gets to contest the grapple. I mean, he's not very or dexterous, but we'll see what happens. Go ahead and roll, sir.
Okay, so what is the? Is it the same as the weapon attack, or is it
I
just a
think if
plus
you want to
one?
grapple, it's strength, and then he can use athletics or acrobatics to get out. So
I think he has to use. Doesn't he have to use strength? And yeah, he has to contest it with strength,
Yeah,
and then when he wants to escape, he can use acrobatics.
I thought he could use. I thought it was if you're attacking, you have to use. If you're grappling, you have to use strength. But if you're contesting it, you can use strength or dexterity. Or am I incorrect?
Yeah, if you're the attacker, you can either get out via strength or you can squirm your way out, but the attacker has to use their strength to restrain
Okay,
them.
cool. Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't sure. So
Okay, let's try this. 4.
oh my, 21.
Okay, that doesn't work. These two, I'm gonna stick on them for an attack. 8 and 21.
21 hits.
4 slashing. And then it does, you can get paralyzed again, right?
What was that?
Yeah, it doesn't say. Yeah, okay, so DC 10 con for paralyzation.
Okay.
Okay, you got out.
This guy has better rolls than I ever.
Okay, so for Total Goth, he's going to. You know what he's going to do? He's going to come over here. and move his anti-magic shell. I guess there should be like a big hole they can walk through.
So nothing can physically pass through damage by dispel magic. A disintegrate spell. It extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the wall. So
So, the thing is, so I guess since magic can't exist in the shell, I do see you can cast Wall of Force in an anti-magic field and it will not be dispelled. However, it will be suppressed within the confines of the anti-magic shield for the duration of the field. So as long as Dave's there's essentially no wall because magic can't exist.
yeah, I'm cool with it. I wasn't sure. So
Oh yeah, no, I just had to look it up too.
there would be a big hole there. Yes, you're right.
We're playing with some high-level spells here.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Okay, so I'm gonna move here. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's cast let's do that, and first I'm gonna do is have this ghoul. Then if he has an opening, I'll have him attack. 11 with a miss.
Miss.
I will. Yeah, unless they're created by a deity. Can I cast a spell and hit him or nah? Do you think that would work?
Anti-magic field? I doubt it.
Yeah, we're playing with fire, aren't we?
Yeah, that's the only reason why I
know?
grabbed it.
Really good spell, but at the same time.
Okay. In that case, what I will do is cast spirit weapon behind him.
I'll get you a shell.
I'm casting it 4th level. And I'll have that go ahead. Plus 10, right? Yeah. 18.
18 hits.
Wait. 38 plus 5. 14.
Nice.
And here's what I'll do. I'll move here and attack and then back 1.
Okay. He will be able to get an attack on you.
Oh, will he? Yeah, you're right.
If you're moving 5 feet away from him, yeah, he'll be able to attack you.
Is this still good for the thing I want to do, or do I need to be? No, I need to be over here. Okay. Oh, here's the other thing. I'm gonna have the shell channel divinity, touch of death.
Okay.
So he'll take another 37 necrotic damage.
Okay. Shit. All right. Well, he's not looking so good. He's not looking good at all, honestly.
And then I'll also, what I'll do is I guess I'll toll the dead on. No, wait, is he too far? Toll the dead. He hasn't taken damage, have he?
He's taken 4 damage.
Okay, he's taken. Oh, he's taken more than that. Okay, 60 feet. I'll hit him with the toll the dead as well.
Okay. He needs to make a wisdom save, right?
Mm-hmm.
$15.
Okay. Oh, he'll take 16 necrotic.
Gotcha. Anything else, sir?
Oh, yeah. You know it. I'm going to go here. Let's have these two guys attack Dexter. We got a 22 and a 15.
So he's gonna cast shield to deflect the 22 and the 15.
Okay. Okay.
He uses shield as a reaction.
I'm going to have Bone Golem use Bone Pizen again.
All right. Remind me what kind of a check was.
BT dexterity, 15 dexterity.
That's right. Thanks. All right. Damn, 20.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, he's having some
Okay.
luck. It's his lucky day, I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna have Pat attack. He's gonna roll to see if he gets the thing back. He doesn't. And he's gonna do 2 slam attacks. Your favorite.
I love slam. 21 hits.
21, and this will be 2d8 plus 4 necrotic. Well, archers, just fire away. Now there's a hole in the wall of force. The archers will fire until slain. Okay.
They're firing at this guy?
Yeah.
Okay. $18 and $19 are hits. Damn, there's a crit. So 5 hits there. 1 crit.
5 hits, 1 crit. Thank you. Thirteen, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 27,
41.
30, 35. Yeah, 41 for arrows.
Wow. They pepper him and he drops over dead. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit back and have a slice of pizza.
All right. Donkey Jank.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and move. One second. That'll work. All right. I'll go ahead and move over to this guy. Wait through the ghouls and stuff. Is there they're large creatures? The
Did you ask if the ghouls were large? No, I think.
Are they medium?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
medium.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
because
there
I
any-
ran. Sorry,
Uh,
go ahead. I was
Yeah, I was
bullshit.
asking, is there any penalty for like wading through creatures in unoccupied spaces? I always forget this rule.
I think you can move through there if they're friendly creatures. You can move through there, right?
Yeah, if they're friendly, there's a different rule.
Okay. All right.
If they're hostile, then it's a hassle.
All right. That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and move, and then I'm gonna go ahead and recklessly power attack on this one.
Okay.
19 and a critical hit.
Yes. Those both hit.
Okay. I'm gonna resolve the crit first. 68 and 2d6
Damn,
plus
holy shit.
12. For 19.
Jesus. 87.
And then regular attack for a 16. Another 2d6. For 11. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a bonus action to make another attack.
Okay. Sorry, I was chewing some.
$12 or 11.
Sorry, those are both misses.
All right, that concludes my turn.
All right, Donkey Jank.
Only Klein, I gotta worry about this next game.
What?
I said, don't worry, don't feel bad about Donkey Jank. I gotta worry about that next game.
Yeah, you're gonna find out, dude. It doesn't
I'm
matter
only at
what you,
level
matter
9,
what you throw at him, dude.
not level 16.
Yeah, well, I waited a long time to give him a +3 weapon because I knew, I knew it was wreck shit. All right, Donkey Jang, it's gonna be the Mind Flare in front of you. It's his turn. So you come up and attack him, and he takes a whole shitload of damage. And he's gonna point at you, and in your mind, you hear the word "die." So, why don't you make a Constitution saving throw?
Okay.
Don't sound so excited.
Just does Holy Aura do advantages on con saves? Am I out of range?
It would. I think it's no longer effective when you leave my aura. Let me double check the wording though.
All right.
Oh, interesting. So it says the creatures of your choice in that radius when I cast a spell. So, like, it wouldn't affect Dave now since he was in my aura, but it might still affect you since you were in my range when I cast it. I don't know if that's how you guys would rule it.
How would you rule it as a DM? I mean, that's how I make a lot of my
Yeah.
decisions. How would you guys rule, like other DMs?
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't say he has to stay in my aura, so I feel like since he was there when I cast it,
Like
I
it's a
feel
legit
like
buff.
it would.
Yeah, I'm cool with
Yeah.
that. I mean, what do you think about it, Dave?
What Dan said.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, I guess you would have advantage on the unsafe one.
Okay.
So unfortunately, it'd be like no helping Dave, but Wes is
No,
covered.
I mean, I agree with you. You know,
I here.
to me.
It's all good. I won't even roll with advantage. I rolled a 28.
Okay. So you take half of this. So he casts Finger of Death on you, and you take half of 61.
Okay.
Where had that finger been?
What was that?
The stink
I
finger.
said, where has that finger been?
You don't want to know. He's been here for a long time. All right, so he ends his turn. Agrius, it's your turn.
Oh boy. Well, I am going to. Oh, I'm gonna double check how much I can move my shell. Oh, I can only move it 20 feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it 20 feet this way, and then myself, I'm going to go left.
Gotcha.
Just by the time we're done, it'll be in range. So I will. Damn, alright. So I guess I'll just cast a spell. How's he looking?
Who?
The one on the left.
He's taking some damage.
Alright, might as well. I'll just use Guiding Bolt at first level just to give the next person advantage. And I'm pretty sure that person will be Wes who will kill him. So, 14 to hit.
Miss. Wait, on the guy on the left?
Yeah.
That's a hit.
Yep. Oh shit! Nice. All right.
Sorry, I thought you meant this guy.
Oh, you're good. Jesus. All right. So only 9 damage. However, he's shining in a light, and the next attack roll against him has advantage.
Gotcha.
And then, yep. And then I'll actually move over here because I feel like after that I'll be able to target the one on the right. So that's my turn. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay.
That's a really good spell. I should have took it more often.
All right. So I think that Vesk is gonna cast a spell as a legendary, and I think he is going to cast Fireball. Fireball is a 24. Yep. So I think he's gonna cast it. I guess he needs to cast it enough that he doesn't hit him. So if the radius here would just stop, right?
Yeah.
I think Wall of Force is concentration. So if that guy's down, then Wall of Force is no longer there. Oh, because his anti-magic. Yeah, it would stop.
Yeah, so it would hit everywhere except for this spot where he has the anti-magic field. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. In that case, then he'll use one of his legendary actions to cast Fireball. So everybody in that radius needs to make a dex save.
21 to win.
Nice. So Dave, your bone golem and your white to make the save.
Yeah, in the gold.
Yeah,
Okay, I gotcha.
he cast it right here. So not this guy, but this guy. Just missed.
Okay,
And Dane DeMar needs to make the save too.
2 goals.
Where's Dane DeMar's character sheet? Dex save.
Wait.
All right, so. All right, so 2 fails, a success. Agris succeeded, and Dane
Oh,
DeMar.
goal.
All right, so here's the damage. So 38 fire damage.
And half for
Half
me.
for you, half for the 19, the 15, and the 14, and takes damage. The 38.
All right, what was the save DC?
18.
18. Okay.
Sorry, I thought I mentioned that. Bad.
Okay, this guy is down. This guy is down. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so he uses one of his, I think it's 2 spell. So it would be Dane DeMar's turn. I think Dane DeMar, who do you want him to? Mage or Vesk?
What do you guys think?
Just a mage.
Okay. So Dane DeMar will make 3 longbow attacks. And 3 hits. Hits him for 30. Nice. And he will end his turn there. He action surge last round. So at the end of Dane DeMar's turn, it's Vesk's turn. And what is he going to do? I think he will probably cast another spell.
Hey, the cat ran outside, so I'm gonna go get him.
Sounds
real
good,
quick.
dude. What spell do we want him to cast? I think that he is going to. Let me look. So Agris is AFK. All right, let me look at his spell block. That's a good one. All right, I want him to cast Blight on Agrius. Whenever Agrius gets back, he needs to make a con save. So we'll have him do that when he gets back.
Okay.
So it's going to be a round down, and it Big Bad dead.
I'm back.
Hey, make a con save for blight.
I don't wanna.
Tough shit. Tough shit. Tough.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. Cool. $24.
Damn. All right, so you take half of this. 25.
Whew, good. I'm glad my came in useful.
Yeah. Nice. All right, Total Goth, what were you saying you're going to do?
I don't know. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it's a round down. So you're up.
Okay. I think first thing we'll do is try to do Bone Prison again. We still haven't given up on the dream. He'll move closer too. He'll still cast Bone Prison, and if he fails, he'll. Yeah, okay. So he's gonna go right up against him. So he'll go right up here. Bonus action 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll move that over here. This gentleman is gonna turn around, go here and attack, and get lucky. 22. 2d4 plus 2 slashing. He needs to make he takes 7 slashing, and he is welcome to make a DC 10 con save.
I think he would probably be happy to make a call.
Okay. Okay, so next we will. We could. Okay. I'm gonna have this guy move in here next to me. They're gonna move into the oil if they can. Okay, so the first thing that they're gonna do is I'm gonna have these 3 ghouls attack. Do they have advantage or anything? Because of Sacred Flame?
Oh, my guiding bolt, the one on the left, the next attack is
Okay.
advantage.
Yeah,
Guiding bolt.
Okay. So just one attack.
Okay, so this is for one of the attacks, 11. Okay. Second attack, 21. Third
21
attack,
hits.
19.
19 hits.
Okay.
It's not that you miss with advantage, but 16?
16 slashing and 2 saves.
What kind of a save was it?
Sorry.
What kind?
Constitution.
Okay. Six and 13, those are probably both fails.
6 is a fail. He is paralyzed for 1 minute unless he saves at the end of his next turn. And then I will cast actually, you know what? I'm gonna do chill touch
Okay.
since I'll have it. He's paralyzed. I have advantage on the attack, I believe. I'll just do chill touch.
Okay. 16 is a hit. Yep. 15 would have hit too.
Okay. 3d8.
You're hitting this guy, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, so 21.
Damn, 21.
Necrotic.
Is paralysis is it a melee attack that if you hit it's insta crit?
That's the same as a held condition, right, Darren? What the fuck was that?
No, yeah, paralyzed. They have advantage on attack rolls, and if you hit, you crit.
Nice.
Oh. New cantrips crit.
If you're within 5 feet and you make an attack roll, it can crit. But if it's like a saving throw, then or your range, then it's not an auto crit, but still advantage.
Anything else, Torgoth?
Yeah, we'll have the archers turn and shoot at this guy as well.
Okay.
They have advantage. There's gonna be a lot of rolling. So 1.
Okay.
That's the first guy. I want to move him up here so I know he went.
Well, isn't that 2 rolls? 23 and 20?
Yeah, he's attacking twice and he has advantage.
You'll have to keep track of the hits. It's
What's
13.
the AC?
13.
His AC is 13.
Yeah.
Okay, then we got 2 hits. Well, 2 of them hitting, so it's multiplied by 2. So far, they all hit. And they're all crits, right?
I think it's a melee hit that crits.
Oh, the melee hit. Oh, that's what we were saying earlier. Okay, so 1 crit, and then 10 hits, 1 of them is a crit. Okay. I'll help count with you. 10, 15, 21, 26, 36, 41, 47, 50, 57, 7 plus 18 is 75.
All right. Well, that. Do you want to do anything else?
Nope. Other than start having everybody move.
All right. Donkey Jank.
All right, Donkey Jank is going to go ahead and move. You know what? Mm, uh, let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and just double move.
Okay.
Let's Pat. I'm sorry, Pat. Pat's right there.
Fucking Pat.
I'm gonna move here and then end my turn.
Okay. You move there and end your turn. And at the end of your turn, Vesk is going to take a legendary action. And he's going to cast a spell. He's going to cast Lightning Bolt. So everybody in this line here, Agrius and Bone Golem, need to make a dexterity saving throw. Or take a shitload of damage.
You got that, Tony.
Oh boy. Damn, Agrius, what the fuck, man? You know, it'll be my birthday soon. You could at least take the... You take half of that. 18. Probably less than half because it's lightning damage.
Yep, I take 9.
Bone Golem takes 36 lightning damage. Total Goth Bubby.
Oh, yeah.
Donkey Jang takes the double move action. The arch mage is dead, so Agrius.
Oh boy. So this is him here, right?
Yeah.
Turtle shell. 15 to hit.
Miss.
Then I'm gonna run up and whack him.
You do that often.
23.
Whack people.
Uh,
23 hits. Oh, actually, I think he's going to use shield.
Alrighty
So it
then.
hit, but
Cool.
you come in, swing your weapon, and it just kind of bounces.
Got it. In that case, I'm just gonna back up then and end my turn.
Smart, Agrius. All right, it's Dane DeMar's turn. Dane DeMar's like, you know, guys, I wasn't the one that set the fire, but the house was burning.
Look, let's say we know.
Damn. All right, so 1 hit and 2 misses. All right, that's the end of Dane DeMar's turn, so it's going to turn. What does he do? I think he wants to attack you, Donkey Jank. So he's going to float on over here, and he takes the black razor, and he's gonna make some weapon attacks. Oh, you know what? I think he's actually... So as he's rushing at you, he goes to swing Black Razor, but instead he's going to hit you with Mind Swipe, which is Intangible Blade of Psionic. And so he's going to make a melee spell attack against you, and he treats your intelligence score as your AC.
He has disadvantage on that
That's
attack
fine.
roll.
I just need
Yep.
to see what his spell attack modifier is. $12.
That hits.
Holy shit. All right, so he swings this intangible blade of psionic energy at you, and it's gonna do 10d8, and you are stunned for 1 minute. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn. I think.
Oh, he can't be stunned because I used freedom of movement, so
Okay,
he's not
excellent.
stunned.
Thank you. I actually forgot, so I appreciate the reminder. Well, you still take this damage. 55.
Man, I'm just so happy that I took that damage.
Are you?
Well, yeah, if I didn't, I would have lost all my rage effects.
Son of a bitch. Fuck.
That was the
Here's
gamble.
how illicit are supposed to be smart.
Damn. All right, well, you know, if you're going to get, he's going to action surge, and he will make some weapon attacks with Black. Pathetic, Von Dragu. Now I'm going to go troll the shit out of this guy. All right, so he's going to make some multi-attack. I assume all of those hit.
Yes.
Did you roll disadvantage?
For a melee weapon attack?
With my holy aura. If you're hitting Weston.
Yeah, that counts against like a melee attack?
Yep, I'll read it. Attacks against us have disadvantage and our saving throws have advantage.
Does a 16 miss?
Yes, it does.
All right, well, you're going to get hit for this. 18 and 21. And he ends his turn. It's a round down. Total Goth, you're up.
Cool. I think we will start with double move here.
Okay.
This guy's gonna attack him. 10.
Miss.
Bone Golem is gonna do an attack. He's got a slam attack.
The Lazy River.
He's a little frustrated right now. If
Miss.
that misses. Hey, boy. Pat. He's gonna roll to recharge. And he's gonna come over here and slam him too. I think he got a +7. Oh, nice, Pat.
Nice, yeah.
What was it, 2d8 +4? Okay. Here's a regular hit. For
Okay.
And here's Pat's crit. 24.
Nice.
I'll move the shell and melee range as bonus action. Have that attack. That's gonna use my bonus action. Okay. Okay. Critical hit.
Yeah, I see that.
26. And you know what? Yeah, I'll have that do 26 and throw Toll the Dead on top. DC 18 Wisdom. My good sir. For Dexter. Okay, he saves. He saves. And now it's arrow time.
The only
His
one,
AC.
the 21's hit, and that's it.
Okay. So he hits twice. And that's it.
Okay. All right. At the end of your turn, he will cast a spell.
You guys should be in my oil.
And what spell should he cast?
Thaumaturgy.
How about a? I think he is gonna cast. Oh, where the fuck is it? All right. So I think that he will. Cast another fireball. And I think he's gonna cast it. In some place where he can hit. He's gonna cast it right here. I guess he's still gonna hit himself there. Son of a bitch. Well, maybe he can't cast. Okay, well, if he can't cast fireball, I think that he will use. All right, Agrius.
Yo.
I think that he is going to disintegrate on you again.
Oh
Dex.
boy. $15.
That is a fail.
Yep.
So you take. Well, Where's the damage? There it is. Okay, so it's 10d6 plus 40 force damage.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. 68.
Boom. Luckily, I have Death Ward, so instead of dropping to 0, I dropped to 1 instead of disintegrating.
That is lucky because I would.
Because you what?
I would feel like a piece of shit.
Oh, no, I mean, that's literally the name of the game. It's a high-level campaign.
All right.
But thank goodness for that.
All right, so it would be Donkey Jank's turn.
Oh, I need to make a concentration check. I don't think I can succeed, though.
I need to make a concentration check, or you need to make a check? Yeah, you need to make one for the damage. Holy shit. Wow.
Holy shit. Well, yep, I definitely lose Holy Aura.
All right. Donkey Jank's going to go ahead and he's going to just attack recklessly.
Okay. There's a crit. Joe, 31, the crit.
Two hits and
Yeah, two
two
hits
hits
and a
and
crit.
one crit.
You get to roll again, right? Because you got a crit.
I already did that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's do the Donkey Jank, everybody. No, it is 48.
I need to move the bone golem because I can't get a hold of this guy. Oh my God. Oh my Jesus. Let me get the calculator.
All right. So
That's 154.
54, 21, 23, 17,
Yeah.
14, 12.
That's 154. So that will put him down. How do you want?
Okay. So for the first two blows, I'm going to just weaken his armor. And then for the final attack, I'm just going to spin around and decapitate him.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you killing blow. You octopus-like head flies from his shoulders and lands against the floor with a sickening thud. His body drops to the ground, and the black razor lands at your feet.
I'm going
What
to
an
pick it up
interesting.
and slow roll it over to Turtle Goth.
Oh, thank you, good sir.
And then
And?
as Turtle Goth hoists up the massive black razor, I'm going to take out my camera and get his picture so it can be framed and put somewhere undisclosed.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds. Make sure you get this thing in the back.
Yeah, get it, make it good for Insta.
All right. Well, you defeat the Illithid coven, the Arcanist coven. What now do you do?
I think this is the part where we gotta throw the stones into the Mordor. Or we throw it at the thing.
So, do we have the option now to unleash the dragon?
Well, you know that there's a dragon imprisoned with
Correct.
crystal.
And
The
there's
ley
ley
line.
lines.
Yes, exactly. Nice catch. The ley lines from these devices lead to this crystal.
Maybe we gotta power them all up for something to happen. Somehow.
The big dad's name was Tudral, and he told you that this was once the great silver dragon Meraxi, but he's been imprisoned in this crystal for at least an era. Do you want to act freely or go in initiative?
A little time with this weapon.
You want to spend some time with that weapon?
Mm-hmm.
That weapon, as you know, requires attunement.
Yeah, I think we'll go through with this.
I think you guys will get along wonderfully.
Total Goth, are you also going to take the Soul Harvester?
What's that?
It's like a giant vacuum for souls. Probably look pretty nice in your swamp.
You plug it in the wall, or how does this thing work?
It feasts off the souls of the newly departed.
Hmm?
Instead of allowing souls to travel to the afterlife, they are trapped inside of this. It's like a reliquary that can be harvested.
Oh, okay.
So it'll store the souls of the dead indefinitely, and then you just take from them. So it's almost like a phylactery prison, but it's like Wes said, it's more of like a vacuum. Like when they die, instead of their soul traveling on, it gets trapped in this thing.
I'll pick this up. I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Agrius, what are you doing? Being AFK. Oh man, I didn't get the chance to show you guys my
Spider-Man.
my Vesk mini.
Terribly sorry, I had to
That's
step
okay.
away. It looks like I missed the killing blow and some stuff that happened afterwards. Nice.
Yeah, so Donkey Jank decapitated Vesk and then gave the Black Razor to Total Goth.
Nice.
So then the party was discussing how to release the dragon, and I was saying that the ley lines from these devices lead to this prism.
Hey, can I want to go over one of the illithid with Pat and use drain blood and get the number of D4s equal to the HD of the creature in temporary hit points.
Okay. It would be their hit point total, or
No, it would be their hit die.
oh, okay. Let me look at.
It might say something like, I don't know, 12d8
Oh yeah.
next to their hit points.
Yeah. All right. So, which illithid? One.
They have different ones. Yeah, that one. That's fine.
Yeah. 18d10.
Okay, so it's 18d4.
Yeah.
He's gonna take the blood out.
Okay. I got you, Agris.
I'm gonna. Can I attune to the Black Razor?
Doesn't it take an hour to attune?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, yeah, if you guys want to wait an hour, I don't know. It's up to you, man.
I don't have an anti-magic field anymore, though.
No,
I'm
would
fine
definitely-
with waiting an hour. I'll go ahead and recover hit die.
damn, you guys pretty much you shut them down pretty hard. Almost got Agrius though, for real.
He had to pull a donkey jank.
Yeah,
Drop the 1 hit point.
yeah. I figured, we'll see.
Yeah, because I don't know if you can, if I could have been resurrected if you're
you
like
can't.
dust. I'm
You
not-
can't. You can only
That's
be brought back by a wish spell, which none of you have.
Yep. So good thing for Death Ward.
All right, so Total God said he wanted to wait an hour to attune to the Black Razor.
That's good with me.
Okay, so we'll say that you guys wait an hour. Are you doing anything in this hour other than?
I spent some of the dice to top myself
Okay.
off.
Are you
Yeah.
doing anything else? Or are you just chilling?
Really not much else.
All right. Total God, you begin attuning to the blade. It has a sentience to it. And it can speak, read, and understand common and communicate with its wielder telepathically. The voice is deep and echoing. While you are attuned to it, Black Razor understands every language that you know. It speaks with an imperious tone, as though accustomed to being obeyed. The sword's purpose is to consume souls. It doesn't care whose soul it eats, including the wielder. The sword believes that all matter and energy. Black Razor is meant to hurry that process along. Despite its nihilism, it feels a strange kinship to Wave and Whelm, 2 other weapons that are locked away somewhere in the world. It wants the three weapons to be united again and wielded together in combat, even though it violently disagrees with Whelm and finds Wave tedious. Black Razor's hunger for souls must be regularly fed. If the sword goes more than 3 days without consuming a soul, a conflict between it and the wielder will occur at the next sunset. While you are holding the weapon, you are aware of the presence of tiny or larger creatures within 60 feet of you that are not constructs or undead. You also cannot be charmed or frightened. So as you begin to attune the weapon, it asks you what makes you worthy to wield it.
Hunger for souls just
Hunger
as much. Yeah.
You were
Like
not the
hungry hippos.
killing blow.
What's that?
It said the sword says that you were not the one that struck the killing blow.
Well, you know how it is in PvP.
The warrior always runs in and spams execute and steals my kill.
Charge, execute crits. Charge, execute.
Well, I will sell the sword that it is in a better position now because its previous wielder has been slain, anyways.
It replies that it will judge that for itself and that you must feed it a soul, and soon. The sword tells you that Vesk used to travel into the astral sea and farm Gith, the souls of the Gith, in his ship.
I see no issue with that.
I hope that's not what I sound like.
I'm still waiting to learn about penguin archery.
All right. So you pass the hour. You pass the hour and attune to the Black Razor. You guys recover your hit die. What else? What now?
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of time left, but I think we should do something with these ley lines. Not sure. If I look around here, it'll tell me something.
Yeah, I guess we could also try to interact with the machine. Or this school thing or something.
So this is actually a small hallway, Tortogoth.
Take a look. I want to get closer.
So you come in here and you find two more of these devices, ley line, but smaller.
Got it. Maybe there's something we gotta do in this room.
Well, the library might tell us too. Got a bunch of books.
This side the same, I assume.
Yes, sir. So this side is
Okay.
all right, Agris. So you go to the library.
I'll put my shot away because the spell's expired.
So you need to. What are you looking for?
I guess I'll start by scanning any books that weren't eaten by Tortlegoth. I'll start by looking at the titles to see if there's anything that looks like it could be about this machine or the dragons inside. And if I see a potential hit, then I'll open it up.
Okay, why don't you make
Investigation, probably.
investigation is good.
Mine sucks, but we'll try this. I'm going to give myself guidance.
Oh boy.
3.
So you start looking through the books and nothing really jumps out.
This is useless. I mean, I guess we could just start pounding on the machine and hitting buttons. Unless you got another idea, Donkey Drink.
You know what? I think Donkey Junk will take a look. It's in a book.
Holy shit.
Reading Painbow.
Reading pain.
I'll give you guidance. So D4.
Investigation check, you said?
Yes, sir.
All right.
You get a D4 too. All right, with an 18, you start looking through many of the books on the shelves. And finally, you find one. It's a dark purple tome. And as you're looking through it, you find a drawing or a diagram that this device. And as you read a little bit more, you come to learn that this is a thing called an like a battery or a power cell, and that many of them together can be used to form an arcane prism.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. What do you guys think?
So would you say? Sorry, go ahead.
It acts as like a the nodes here act as a battery cell that create the prison.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they work as power cells that power the arcane prism. Yeah.
Nodes.
I'm sorry.
These nodes, like the thing in pinging.
Yeah. So it is like an arcane battery almost.
You got it, dude. Does it say anything about how to deactivate? I'm assuming they needed the stones or something, so I'm assuming we need to do something with the stones.
There's a note in the margin. Construct can be deconstructed.
The trap can be deconstructed.
There's a note in the margin that any construct can be deconstructed. So either by magic or by force.
Cool.
I have an idea.
What's that?
I'm gonna enter in the control room again.
Okay.
Am I aware of the presence of any creatures that aren't constructs or undead in here?
Black Razor does not alert you of any creatures with a sword in this room.
Inspect the water here. Can I see what's in it?
Could you see because you're a turtle? Or does it only work if you're in the water that you can see through the murky water?
Murky? You didn't say that. I would have jumped in.
How do turtles even work? No, I'm just kidding.
Seriously, dude. How do they work?
Right? They're like dinosaurs. So you can make out somewhat of a humanoid shape, but you can't get a clear image of it.
I had it inside the water.
Yeah, it's a little murky, a little difficult to tell.
And do I see anything in these?
Um,
Or are they just kind of spare?
they're just kind of spare tanks with this fluid, whatever this fluid may be. But they didn't have any
Okay.
tokens without the things in them, so
Okay, and is this a control panel?
yes, it looks very strange to you as a turtle. You've probably never seen anything so technologically advanced in your life.
They got a millions of those back in the
Oh yeah,
swamp.
I think I saw one of those on the way to fight the black dragon.
Can I ask the Black Razor, who has an intelligence of 17, what he may or may not know about this?
Razor says that their pronouns are they, them. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What was your question for it? Sorry.
I want to ask the sword what it knows of this, the sword with the intelligence of 17, what it knows about this room. I'm going to assume it's been in here before.
It says very little. This sword was largely kept with its master Vesk, who took it on raids against the Gith. It says that this was one of Two Draw's experiments, and now that Two Draw's dead, it likely won't bear any fruition. So some kind of arcane experiment.
Should I do in here, Mr. Black Razor?
You ask the sword what you should do.
Yeah.
I feel like Black Razor's purpose is to consume souls, so it wouldn't care what you.
Well, we're going to find the souls, buddy. Can I pull a lever or push a button or something?
Sure, you could try.
Okay. I'd love to.
Okay, so you walk up to the control panel. There's a keyboard there. There's 3 levers and 3 screens.
From left to right, I will pull levers.
From left to right. Okay, so the first 2 are in the down position, and the third one is in the up position. So,
Let's put them all up.
okay, so you adjust the first 2 upwards. All right, so you push these 2 levers here and here to the north. Behind you, this machine starts, making all kinds of noises, and this tank bubbles to life. On the screen, let me type it out. What languages do you understand?
Well, me personally, it's isn't it common in Turtle or Aquan, but the Razor, common. Oh, yeah, the Black Razor also understands every language,
Okay.
I think it's just calm and awkward.
All right. So as this tank bubbles to life on the screen, there's a prompt.
Prompt.
Yeah, put it in the chat. Do you want me to read it?
I wonder if it's what we should do.
Oh, hell yeah, initiate chaos protocol.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna come in and look at your shoulder and I'll say, I mean, it's what we came here for, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
Right, you think, Wes? Or should we not be so jumpy happy?
Let's do it.
I think that's gonna be up to you guys. If you guys want to do that, Donkey Jank wouldn't care.
All right, Dave, you think so?
Do you guys want to save the game first?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
I mean, I guess the other option would be to kind of like pause here and then think it through.
So I'm going away this weekend. Well, we're just going to, but if you guys wanted to pick it up on like Sunday or something, or we could just
I'll be going away.
or we can just wait till next week. That's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mull it over. I guess I'm not opposed to that. But also, if you want to say fuck it and do it and see what happens, I'm not opposed to that either.
I think we should try it next time.
So,
Sounds
on Dragon Ball Z.
Just because I got to get up and go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I know it's getting kind of late. Let me get you guys experience. Oh, holy shit.
You guys get 24,000 XP.
It's a lot for the 3 illithid. All right, so it's going to be. I think that's a lot, but according to Kobold Fight Club, that's what it is. 7,880. The mobs you fought were an Archmage, reflavored Death Knight with Black Razor, and Vampire Spellcaster, but rated to CR 17.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good mix of, they have a Mind Flayer Arcanist stat block, but it's only like CR 8 or 9. So I just modified some existing stat blocks.
Guys, we're level 17. We did it.
Nice. So
Really?
I wish. We have a little bit yet.
how much
to go.
left to go?
By a little bit, I mean we have 16K left. We're at 208,958, and we need 225.
Okay. What did you guys think of the encounter?
I had fun doing it.
Oh,
Yeah, it was looking close.
Yeah, Darren, I'm glad you had Death War on. Honestly, if not,
That would have changed a lot for sure.
bad news bears. But I mean, I thought it was really good that you guys, Dave, you locked this guy down almost right away because he was the real danger. He was the strongest spellcaster, and you pretty much shut him down right away. So he was
Yeah,
gonna.
good shit, dude.
My plan was because I figured you'd go for. Guy was gonna reverse gravity in a 50-foot radius, like over everybody here. Except you went right for him with your anti-magic shield or anti-magic field and shut that shit down. So
That's pretty clutch.
yeah, man.
tough.
So well, I guess we extend Fragments of the Past one more week. At least
Whoa.
one. So are we gonna play? We're gonna go back to Against the Giants, or what? What do you guys want to do?
I think, right, Dave? Is that the consensus? You're good with that?
Yeah, should be good.
Cool. That gives me a little bit more time to make tip top, and also it'd be nice to play a little bit. Be nice to play a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions on the main quest story?
No, at this point, it kind of seems like the power's in our hands to do what the hell we want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it was kind of a big lore drop, but it's kind of difficult to work that in otherwise.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
So, all right, fellas. Well, I guess we'll pick it up next week.
Sounds
pick it
good.
up, pick it up, pick it up. That's good.
All right, Peteys. I will. I'll catch y'all tomorrow.
All right, man.
Have a good night, fellas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye.
See ya.